I was excluded because of my race.
I should have had that right to be on the jury. Not, no, if I qualified for it, I should have had the right to do it, not because of my race or color or anything like that.
The Racial Justice Act is really the protection that we have between death decisions being made on the basis of race. It includes a protection against discrimination in jury selection in capital cases. As part of the cases that Judge Weeks decided, he had to review evidence from hundreds of jury selections and hundreds of jurors. He found over 100 examples of discrimination against African American jurors based on their race.
After all these years, there are still persistent claims and considerable evidence of the continuing effects of racial prejudice in the application of the death penalty.
Unfortunately, in 1996, my father was robbed and shot, and he died. The prosecutor, he did ask me, would that incident in my family, would that have any type of impact as far as my decision, as far as what I would, how I would feel about this particular case. And I told him that, that's two separate entities right there, because, what happened to my father has nothing to do with this gentleman's life. After I found out that there was a white lady that had the same type of incident that happened, but they decided to keep her. And I just still couldn't understand it, because I'm a female, same circumstances, murder, like I said, murder's murder, and they got rid of me. And there's something real biased about that.
The court finds that Robinson introduced a wealth of evidence showing the persistent, pervasive, and distorting role of race in jury selection throughout North Carolina.
The prosecutor and the defense asked questions, but I know the prosecutor asked me a lot of questions about my military service, about my religious service, about my religious belief. I think she just used that as an excuse to dismiss us as a black person. And I think I've just been a good juror, because I wanted to be a juror. I wanted to do it one time.
The North Carolina Racial Justice Act is really a law about fairness. It's fairness to defendants. It says that we are not going to let race play a role in the question of whether or not you live or die. It's also a question of fairness to all of us, because it prohibits discrimination in jury selection, which is an important civic duty for all of us.
Race is correlated with strike decisions in North Carolina. The court finds that Robinson introduced a wealth of evidence showing the persistent, pervasive, and distorting role of race in jury selection throughout North Carolina.
It makes you wonder about whether all these people are being given a fair trial or given a fair consequence as far as the death penalty.
It is the responsibility of those of us who are part of the criminal justice system to follow the law, to see to it that the law, specifically the death penalty, is administered fairly and reliably in our state.